Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Commandments of Patience aka Erwan Drunky back again with a new video. So today I'll be doing a drunken marriage part 2, so let's get started.
I honestly don't think you can become a hero.
So before we start this video, follow me on my Instagram and join my Discord server and read the description for more info about our sponsor Beautiful Hero. With that, let's get back to the video. So the last time I ended the video, Izuku was saying to himself he will be good being a boyfriend and a husband for both of them. So today's part, I'm going to point this out right now. I don't mind keeping our marriage, Midoriya. You don't? I don't, for two reasons. One is that I know you're a caring person for what I know. Whatever it was your fault or not, you'll still try to do the best you can with any situation to an admirable state. The second is because I was arranged to marry some random person at the age of 18. I'd rather be married to someone I know and can trust as opposed to some stranger I've never met. I look at Yuyuruzu amazed until Uraraka speaks up. I don't mind keeping it either. I know you're kind and gentle person, Deku. So being married to you wouldn't be bad? It may be a little fast, but I don't necessarily mind it. I think about it for a few seconds and answer them. If the two of you have no problem with it, I guess I could try and make it work for us. We all agree to this with Principal Nizo walking back in. It seems you all made the decision. Now, first thing first, is that you three will need to tell your parents? I will give you a few days off of school to sort these things out. Once that is done, we will discuss your living arrangement and go from there. We bow and thank Principal Nizu before walking out. Once out, we start walking in the hall and thinking of our next move. So, whose family we will tell first? I think my mom will be more understanding of the situation since she knows of my father's antics. They both agree as we head to the dorms to clean ourselves up. So I'm technically telling you this in Izuku point of view, okay? I am him. So once I'm out of the shower, I text my mom if I could come over to talk to her about something. I added that it wasn't bad but something she needs to know. She agreed and told me that she was home now if I wanted to talk to her. Hey Deku, texting your mom? Yeah, we're gonna meet her after we're ready to head out. We hold a sudden silence until Yurizu come out with the towel on her hand, wiping the excess water from her head. Did you contact your mom yet, Midoriya? Yes, she said we can come over now since she's home. We get few things before heading out to the bus stop. While walking, we start making some small talk about our new situation and how it may change. So since we are husband and wives now, does that mean I can't call you Deku anymore? If you want to keep calling me that, I have no problem. Then why don't we call you our own nickname for you? I look over Yoruzu and in question what does she mean? We can call you something short that flows with the tongue better to make it less awkward that we're married. Oh, what did you have in mind? She think for a second before offering suggestion. How about Izu? I got red and slightly nodded. Oh, it's so cute. How about you make one for me? I looked over to Uraraka and think about it. How about Ocha? And calling Yurizu by her first name since it's already so short. They both go a little red and nods as well. We started heading on a bus to meet my mom. After this, preparing for what would come next. So we finally make it to my mom's front door and we're staring at it with a concern. I start to think about how my mom will react and knowing she may take this a little bad. This may turn out kinda bad. You two may want to back up a bit. Why? You said she was gonna understand the situation the best. Yeah, but this is more because of something else. They agree and back up a bit. I knock on the door and wait a few seconds until mom opens the door. Hey mom, how are things going? She looked at me and smiled gently at not seeing me for weeks. I'm fine, how are you, sweetie? Oh, okay, I want you to meet up some people. I move over to show Ochako and Momo. I'd like you to meet your daughters-in-law. She hears the like the low part, like in-law part, and goes pale. Oh crap! Like when we see Inko falling to the ground with a thud sound. Moms pass out unconscious from the shock of my statement, with me being the only calm one at this moment. Well, she took that better than I thought. How is this better, Deku? She collapsed. Just calm down. I'll bring her in while you two make yourselves at home and see about contacting your parents so we can tell them the situation. I'll grab my mom and carry her into the house. Once I put her on the sofa, Momo and Ocha started to call their parents. This gonna be fun to explain to her when she wakes up. She started to go let a color back in her as I looked at her face. Well, she always wanted a daughter and for me to marry a nice girl. I don't think she expected to get those this early and two at that. I started silently laughing to myself to avoid the awkwardness that will arise when she wakes up. So my parents were planning to visit me today after school. I told them to meet us at this address and that they'll know why and when they get here. Ochako walks in and takes seat next to me, as well as mine. They said they will be here at 4, Momo said. So we can tell them both at the same time. Let's hope my mom is stable enough that she can side with us after she learns this. As I say this, mom started to wake up a bit. She started muttering the last part I said before waking up and shouting, "In-laws!" And she starts screaming and she jumped and scared both Ochako and Momo in the process. She turns her head and see all three of us sitting and staring at her. My baby is married? How did this happen? She asked. She started hugging me and crying, not knowing how to respond to this. It's okay mom, just calm down and we'll explain everything to you. She sits down and holds back her tears till the end. First thing is that we weren't even aware we were married last night until this morning. You see, it all started when I had a visit from Hisashi yesterday. Why did I think he may have had a part in this? Mom's answer in a sarcastic way and hold an annoyed look. To make a long story short, the three of us followed him to the restaurant and drank something he had a server bring us, holding the thought that he couldn't mess with it. We drank it and blacked out. During that time, we entered into a marriage that was only possible because he was a parental guardian and had citizenship in the Middle East. The next thing we were remembered was waking up in a motel with the papers and rings with us. Mom's pinched her nose and let out a long loud sigh. He drugged you three. He drugged his only son and 2 friends into making them into a marriage. Why is that not surprising with your father? We plan to keep the marriage though, for personal reasons. We just thought that it was important for you to know before we surprise you anymore. Oh please Izuku, this isn't the most surprising thing that you could have done. It could have been much worse. I rubbed the back of my neck and started getting worried about telling her the next part. That's not the end of what we found out from the night before. She hears this and almost asks before realizing what I mean. She said, "You didn't." I'm not certain, but I can almost guarantee that we may have consummated the marriage last night. More like moms look at us amazed while me, Ochako and Momo turns completely red. How did you three? You don't want to know, Mistress Midoriya. To pull the topic off our comments, Mom tried to think about the main factor right now. So, to make things simple, you three are married you are literally saying married. We know to the answer. So I have two pretty daughters-in-law now. It's nice to meet you both. You can call me Mom if you like. She smiled at us as Ochako and Momo start to introduce themselves. I'm Ochako Uraraka, Mistress Midoriya. Though I guess my last name is Midoriya now. Ochako starts to laugh at this while scratching her head. I am Momo, Mistress Midoriya. My last name was Yuruzu before last night, and it is an honor to meet you. Momo's bows to which Mom smiles and bows back. Such a good manners. You certainly found two nice girls, Izuku. For the next few hours we spent it talking and discussing our families and what our future may be like, and when my phone started to ring. Sorry, I'll be right back. I walk into the hall and answer the call. Hello? Midoriya, what's happened to you? Yuruzu and Uraraka did not come back yesterday, and we weren't in class today. Did something happen? Ida started to yell at me over the phone, with me trying to find the best way to explain to him our situation without saying the part of the marriage. So, well, some family's matter had come up that kept us from coming back. We'll be out for school in a few days. But I promise I'll explain everything to you when we get back. Will that work? It's not entirely a lie, but it's technically one. I understand. If there is any situation you need, please ask. As our class rep, I will make certain that I can help you in any possible way. I can't believe Ida brought it. Thanks, I'll talk to you soon. I hang up the phone and head back to the others. Who was it, Deku? Yeah, it was Ida. He wanted to know why we didn't get back to UA last night. I told him we have family issues prevented us and is the reason we won't be there for the next few days. He believed it? I sit down between Ochako and Momo and try to compose myself. Not the real truth, but it isn't exactly a lie. So why didn't you wanna tell Ida, Deku? He is our closest friend. At this the moment things are complicated enough without our class finding out we are married, and we did it while not being fully aware. It's not that I don't want to tell him, it's just that now isn't a good time with everything going on. He does have a point. If we'll tell people off the bat that we're married, it will just cause more trouble than we can handle right now, Ochako. Ochako agrees with Momo and continue our conversation. So, few hours later, I begin to hear a knock on the door and go to open it. When I do, I see a bulky man with a brown hair and a woman that looked like Ochako on the right. On the left were two dignified looking couple that had similar features to Momo. Excuse me, but do you know where my daughter Ochako is and why she gave me this address? Well, you see, sir. Mom? Daddy? We can almost hear Ochako cuts him off and start running to hug both her parents. Mother, father, is really good to see you again. Momo walks in with her parent looking happy to see her but keeping a look something on her hand. Momo dear, what is that? And this may be where I die without getting to explain anything. It's a wedding band. The Yuruzu immediately gave me death glare, with me feeling the killer intent to a point I could almost see a seep out of them. Ochako, is that a wedding ring? I looked over to see Ochako's father glare at me now with his knuckles cracking. And this is where I die. A brutal death without getting a chance to say anything. At least I can say I sorta tasted married life and had some good memories in my life. I'm sorry, Ocha and Momo. I don't think I will live long after this. Please, before you all attempt to kill my son, can you at least hear what they all have to say first? All four of them came in and sat it down on the couch. Mr. Yuruzu is the first to speak. This explanation better be good. I start explaining how we got to where we were with like father meeting us and abnormal blackout we all had, which the girls agreed to on happening. I explained how we all woke up in a motel with us already legally married, and how we did plan to continue with the marriage even though it was not one we like currently agreed to. I did leave out the part though of us being naked waking up and possibly of us questioning our marriage to avoid Mr. Ororaka and Mr. Yuruzu from killing me, since they weren't so fond of me off the bat. And that's about covered it. UA will give us a few days off of school to go over this, and we'll make a decision on living arrangements when we go back. They all glared at me, making a face of not believing this was all real. Believe me when I say this is without a doubt my ex-husband's fault. He normally comes into Izuku's life and causes trouble no matter what it is to gain money. So why marry him to my daughter? If you were thinking this through logically, the better bet would be marrying the Yuruzu girl. He also likes to mess with him. He says it's enough, like it's funny. The mothers were a little less tense after hearing this and started to speak up. I have one question for you, Mr. Midoriya. If I were to give you my blessing for Ochako, what would you desire with her? I would like to know the same for the Momo as well. I think about it for a second and reply. Right now, I just want to make this incident as stable as possible. After what's happened, to make it work for their sake, they both agreed to this when I asked what they wanted to do going forward today, as I want to make things right and help balance the relationship as best I can for Ochako and Momo. I at least need to give that to them as way to make up for this. Both mothers smile with me Mistress Yuruzu chuckling a bit. I like you, young man. You have a good ideal on your shoulders, but those are words that can easily be false. Mr. Ororaka walked up to me and pats my shoulder. In a moment I felt as if I was weighing 2 tons. This is a way to tell how far you're willing to go. My quirks allow me to increase the field of gravity on something 20 times its weight. Right now, you're probably feeling like you're 2 tons waiting right now. If you can hold yourself strong and not fall, I'll deem you worthy. If not, you annul the marriage with mine and Yuruzu's daughter. I start to feel weights push me down. I start to stand strong and on my own without my quirk, to feel my limbs act as if they were going to fall off. I start to bend my knees, but I started to think about making Ochako and Momo disappointed and sad for what I failed to do on my own. Once I thought of that look, the pain felt as if it was nothing compared to that. As I started to stand back up tall, once I did it, looked at Mr. Ororaka and smiled. This is nothing, sir. My vows and will for Ochako and Momo will never waver. He smirks at me and releases the quirk. He pats me on the back and he starts to laugh. I like you, kid. You have a good sense of purpose in you. As do I. I guess you are worthy of my daughter's affection and hand for now. We all sit back with Ochako and Momo pinching my cheeks. Izuku, why didn't you use your quirk? She's right, that would have been a cakewalk if it was with your quirk active. At that moment the parents looked at me amazed that I was standing like 2 tons without quirk activated. So you could have taken the easier with a quirk and choose not to. I thought I should have do it without quirk to prove my dedication to your daughters. I'm impressed. Ochako found a guy that's not afraid to take the hard way to prove a point. Okay, I'm officially committed to believing you are worthy of my daughter. You really are an impressive boy, Izuku Midoriya. Momo has good men on her side. I bow and thank them both. After a few more hours of talking, we say our goodbyes to Momo and Ochako's parents. Mr. Yuruzu said that they will officially announce our marriage in a few weeks at the party with everyone present. Once the day was set, he would give us all the dates and everything for it. I just hope that life would be less complicated once this come. When they went out of the door, I sat down and sighed in relief. That was the most exhausting thing I had to do. All my speed training has nothing on this. Come to think of it, I should have told Ochako and Momo about One for All. I shrugged off the thoughts and looked at the clock. Like, no wonder I'm so tired. It's 10:30 p.m. I look over to see Ochako and Momo start to yawn a bit. I think it's best way we turn in. My room is the one in the left. You girls can take my bed while sleep out here. That's not fair for you, Deku. It's your bed. I'm not letting you two sleep on the couch. It's mean to do like either of you. I hold my ground on this before my mother commented to this. Why don't you all sleep in Izuku's bed together? You're married. We all think of it and get led by the thought. Just don't give me grandbabies yet. At this point, we all go completely red of hearing this. Once we changed into some clothes to sleep in, we looked at the bed and thought of the best possible choice to have to us and to sleep in. In the end, I was in the middle with Ochako and Momo on top of me, using me to similar to a body pillow. I never realized how muscular you are, Deku. Kinda doesn't fit your personality. I have to agree, you are rather formed for a boy in our age. Thank you. I put myself through the ringer to get stronger. I started laughing awkwardly while trying not to think about the fact I have two cute girls sleeping basically on top of me. Hey Deku, are you worried about what the future is gonna be like for us? A little. Why? Well, I always wanted to help my family with their construction company and never thought of marriage as part of my life. Now that it's happened, I'm scared. I wrap my arm around Ochako and kiss her head. Whatever happened in the future will happen. We have the three of us now, so don't worry about it. She smiled and nuzzled into her head into my chest. Thanks, Deku. Seem you're trying your best. I look over to Momo and give her a kiss on her forehead as well. It's the least I could do for you both. She breathed out a little and tickled my chest before following Ochako's lead and nuzzled her head in it. I lay there for a few minutes thinking of what tomorrow will bring before I get One for All in my head again. Hey Ochako, Momo, are you still awake? I get a groan from both of them as a yes. Tomorrow I want to tell you both a secret about my quirk, but I need you both to keep it to yourselves, okay? Okay Deku, I promise. As do I. I close my eyes and smile at the feeling of both of them sleeping peacefully on my chest. I hope you enjoyed this 20-minute long video. I don't know, I'm sorry for all the last 2 days I've been doing I haven't been able to upload. As you already know, I was sick, but now I'm a little bit better. So yeah, I hope you're having a good time. Enjoy your day, spending most precious time with your family or your most precious people. Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands. As I always say, don't like the video until you enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe to help us to get to 10k, and press the notification bell to get notified when I upload my videos. And yeah, peace out, bye bye.